I sometimes feel like occultists have the wrong idea about angels and angelic magic. Sort of sense that angels are these, I don't know, safe, goody-goody kind of entities that are for amateurs. That experienced magicians should really be working with the Goetia, and that you start out with the angels and then you kind of graduate to working with more infernal spirits and so on. And I feel like this misses the point somewhat. It really misses the mystery and the profundity of the angelic experience and angelic magic. Because there is some sort of discomfort around angels, some sort of queasiness around these sort of inscrutable, luminous beings. And I think this kind of, again, mischaracterizes angels and really misunderstands them. If you look at tradition, whether it's biblical tradition or the various accounts of magical history around angelic contact, it paints a rather different picture. Usually, whenever angels appear, chaos follows. The angels tend to be harbingers of massive religious reform, upheaval, and change. Take, for example, the angel Gabriel appearing to the Prophet Muhammad and revealing the Quran, a whole new biblical dispensation, as it were, and that kind of would lead to unimaginable changes in that part of the world. Or the angel Moroni appearing to the founder of Mormonism, and or the angel Iwas and Crowley, or think of John Dee and Edward Kelly, their rather modest experiments in his oratory, just working with basically a shoe stone and prayers. And this angel called Madimi appears and initiates this whole thing with the Enochian language. And of course, that has had a massive ripple effect in the occultism of early modernity. And so, and this is not even including religions like Zoroastrianism or the Yazidi faith, or the teachings of Madeleine Montalban. And I'm sure I could dig up more examples, but the idea here that I want to make you think about is that angels are dangerous. When angels appear, they usually bring knowledge, and that knowledge disrupts. They usually bring reform of some sort, revelation of some sort. They usually raise the moral and energetic standard of the person or the populace with whom they interact. And think of what you will of the examples that I gave or the religions that I gave. But you cannot argue that the appearance of these angelic figures are really a catalyst for chaos in a lot of cases. So I would like to disabuse you of the idea that angels are safe. Angels can be quite disruptive and dangerous, but that is not to take away from their beauty, their mystery, and their power. They are an extraordinary dimension of experience for the magician to explore. And this is why I often encourage magicians to explore working with angelic magic and to really engage with the angelic realm directly, to see what the angels have to teach you themselves, and to discover what that experience is directly, beyond the filters of tradition, beyond the filters of religion, because there is something in that experience that transcends the parameters of those categories, those limited confining boxes through which the angelic experience have come. And in my opinion, there is something quite primordial and extraordinary with the angelic encounter, something quite alien, something which points to a truth that transcends the specificities, the doctrines, and the dogmas of any religion or magical system. Whenever you encounter these angelic intelligences, they really do have a way of enlightening and reforming you in the place where you are. And simply often it is enough to be near them. You might do an invocation of an angelic intelligence and you might not even have a very clear communication. It might not be that there will be information transmitted other than just this experience of light or sound or a sensation of elation, often exquisite energetic sensations that you experience in the presence of these beings that are quite indescribable. But those experiences often catalyze a shift in the magician's life that mark a kind of initiation and transformation. And that experience is really something that transcends the Abrahamic context. When we think of angels, we tend to think of the Abrahamic religions or religions of the book. But one of the things that I've taken, especially from the teachings of Madeleine Montalban, that had a great influence on me, in addition to my own direct experience with the angelic intelligences, is that they represent something primordial. They represent something that transcends tradition. And for me, this is very much evident in their representations. Often angels resist representation. We simply depict them as winged beings, and only the archangels tend to have regalia or implements, a staff or a sword, and even then it's very modest. Their histories are very modest. We often only have their names, and it is really can be very frustrating on one level, because we Westerners, we like to visualize things, we like to give things form, and angels to some extent really resist that impulse. They are something somewhat quite formless, and they can take any form, of course. They can appear in any shape that they need to, but there's something about that primordial formlessness that suggests something at the root of the experience. It's as if they precede the gods somehow, and this requires a leap of the mythopoetic imagination somewhat, for us to really plumb the depth of that experience. But when we do, and certainly when I have, it's really opened up an extraordinary spiritual experience for me. Certainly I've learned a lot from working with angels in terms of my practical knowledge and magical techniques and things that they have shown me. My Kabbalistic candle magic system and the various systems that I teach on this channel all stem from direct angelic inspiration that kind of fused with my skill set. And I feel often angels work in this way. They have an inspirational function, but more than that, there is an energetic experience, a theurgic experience in that encounter that transforms us.